Hey guys, what's happening? It's YourAverageDabel. Before this video starts, I just wanted to say that I am going on vacation, like, in a couple days, the 27th to the 31st, so basically a Wednesday to a Sunday, if you don't want to do the math, and that's a couple days that I won't be able to upload, like, at all, so I do apologize for that, but, now onto the real video. So, I know Call of Duty has been getting a lot of hate, and trust me, I'm in that, like, group of people that, like, hates on Call of Duty Ghosts, and for me, Black Ops 2 as well, because god damn it, that game pissed me off. But this game has pissed me off a little bit more. And why is that? Like, you think, like, oh, Call of Duty is getting progressively worse, but to me, the new Call of Duty and the trailers and everything always looks a lot better than the last Call of Duty. Maybe that's just because the guy who plans out the trailer knows what the hell he's doing. Who knows? But when it comes down to it, the newer Call of Duties have been getting like a ton of hate. And I think the reason is because okay, so let's take a look at Call of Duty 4 and 5. Those games were like a lot of people who have been playing Call of Duty since those games came out, specifically when the games came out. Like if you're like me, I believe I started when Black Ops came out, but MW2 was popular. So what was happening was I got Black Ops 2, I also got MW2, and I played those games. Those were my first Call of Duties. And then, because I didn't get an Xbox until a little bit later of when people normally would get Xboxes. And then what happened was, I'd say 2 years ago, maybe 3, I played COD 4 and 5 for the first time, and I'm like, these games are really good. Like, I'm looking at comparisons from, like, I'm just like comparing my feelings about both games, and I'm like, COD 4 and 5 are pretty on the mark. Like, there's kind of no bullshit. Obviously there's hacks and whatever, but I mean, back then there weren't hacks, so like, I'm looking at it and everything feels pretty fair. Like, obviously from a surface value, every single Call of Duty is the same. You take a gun, you choose a class, you shoot people, you take objectives to get points, you kill people to get points. If you kill enough people or take enough things, you get a score streak nowadays. It used to only be kill streak and killing people. And that was that. And then so let's take it by game. So COD 4 and 5, pretty simple enough. That's pretty point and shoot, like couple simple kill streaks, like that's about it. And MW2 came out. MW2 added some stuff. I believe it added it added a couple skill streaks. Oh, and here I actually turn off lean, cause like fuck lean, it's like screwing me over every time. And here I like try it out to make sure lean isn't on. So you think of MW2, you think of the nuke, you think of noob tubes, and you think of specific kill streaks that you'd use to get the nuke, blah blah blah. That's what comes to mind when I think of MW2. I don't know about all you guys, but that's what I hear or think, whatever. So when I played the game, it was a shit ton of fun. Are you kidding me? Like, that game was, especially if you play it with other people, like, that game was awesome. I really enjoyed it. Now, the issue comes up, how broken are noob tubes, blah 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 blah. But if you ignore the noob tubes, if you ignore the brokenness a little bit, just bear with me here. If you ignore that and you take the game at what it is, to me it's a fun game. To me it's enjoyable, play with your friends, And when I compare that to COD 4 and 5, since I started with MW2, it's a different experience for me. COD 4 and 5 aren't magical anymore, as they were for a lot of people, because COD 4 and 5 were, if I'm correct in saying this, pretty revolutionary for the time. Or not, I don't want to say revolutionary, but like, they were apparently amazing for the time. Obviously, I wasn't in that time, so I don't get the same feeling. That's the same with a lot of people who like hear about COD 4 and 5, but they don't know, like, but they're like me, who are kind of like, well, that's great, but I never really got into it. So Modern Warfare 2 and 3 are what they have to base off of. So their hate's going to be a little bit less than what the COD 4 and 5 people are going to be talking about. So MW2 comes out, you got the nuke, which like completely changes the way the game's played. You got a lot of camping now. I'm pretty sure if I'm also, this is kind of like what I think. So these aren't completely facts. Like when I say these games are revolutionary, this is what I remember hearing from people and them saying it's revolutionary, seeing online and being like, oh, these people think this game is amazing and the best game in the series, which may or may not be true. I'm not saying which one's the best, but what you got in MW2 now is a different way to play the game. Is this better? Is this worse? I don't know. But then you get Black Ops. Black Ops, personally, I didn't really like the multiplayer. Still don't. I put it in the PS3 the other day. Still not great for me. Zombies, though. That was my pride and joy in Black Ops. I played that. I played the shit out of zombies. That was my thing. And then what happened was MW3 came out. MW3. Now, okay, hold on. Let me just back up a little bit because I'm getting ahead of myself. MW2 and Black Ops, I believe, got relatively good reviews. I believe. Now, if this is the case, this is because they're not that different from COD 4 and 5. Yes, it may be a different way to play the game, but the feeling that you get when you play the game, some strategies that you use are still the same. Like, I'm trying to think, like, I mean, it's still point and shoot. It's not that different. All that's different now is, like, obviously, even COD 4 and 5 all had different score streaks. Sorry, I just woke up. Score streaks, but, wow, my aim is terrible in this game. But when it comes down to it, the difference between COD 4 and 5, COD 4 and 5 and MW2 is really just the nuke. And, like, obviously the maps are different, but the maps are different between COD 4 and 5. Kill streaks are different, but they're different between COD 4 and 5. All the things that are different in MW2 besides the nuke are pretty much the same in COD 4 and 5. Now, I'm not sure what you people see, or what other people see in the differences between COD games. But let's go to Black Ops. That, for me, was Zombies game. There was no multiplayer for me. I played it for a while, but I would only play it with friends. Like, only play it with friends. I would try multiplayer, and, like, it just would not work for me. I wasn't getting that feeling of enjoyment. And I think but the game itself was awesome because of zombies. That's the thing. They had a substitute. Now, let's go to MW3. MW3 introduced a lot of stuff, and this makes the game a little bit more complex. And I believe this is where the series starts dipping a little bit. Now, MW3 wasn't a bad game, and this is all in my opinion. It wasn't a bad game. Personally, I enjoyed MW3, although it made me very angry. This game was very good at pissing me the fuck off. Now, when you think about MW3, what did they add? They changed the nuke to the Moab, which was easier to get, if I remember correctly. or it may have just been the same. But now we have score streaks, and this is very different. What's happened here is you've changed the game. What they tried to do, but didn't really super accomplish, was they tried to change the game to a more objective base, not killing base. This is very different from every other Call of Duty so far, because when you think of the nuke, you have to get what, 25 kills in a row? COD 4 and 5, it's all kills. Besides domination, it's all kills. Even in domination, you spawn trap people to get kills. That's what Call of Duty was based on, was getting kills. And now MW3 takes it from a killing game to trying to be more team-based, trying to be more objective-oriented. And what this does is it changes your focus a little bit from, like, you're a little bit confused on what to do. You want to get kills, but at the same time, you can get a couple more points getting an objective that's sitting right next to you. So maybe you'll take that objective. Maybe you won't pass it up this time, like a lot of people will do, including me. If I see two teammates taking B, I'll sit around them and defend them, because I know an enemy is going to be looking at B, so I'll try to take that enemy out before he takes out both of those guys. But if I'm on B, I'm just in the red zone. I'm just going to get hit like everyone else. So that's not really great. But now what's happening is everyone wants to get on that objective to get those points. Now, this is radically different from the way the whole game is played. Now, obviously, there are people like Slayers who will literally just go for kills. And that's fine. That's the way you play the game. That's totally cool. But a lot of people, especially noob, I don't know, like a new player, can I just call them noobs? Like, really? Like, is that alright? Like, I'm not saying it in a bad way, because normally it has a negative connotation towards bad people, but in this case, when I say noobs, I mean new players. That's what I mean. So, when like, MW2, I felt like had a very controlled fan base. There were a lot of people playing it, but a lot of people who played it were from the COD 4 and 5 era. And, like, maybe there were, like, there were obviously the Christmas noobs, and, like, whatever holiday noobs. But, to me, personally, I feel like they obviously got an increased fan base, but it wasn't huge until I think it started to get more popular towards the end, possibly, because I don't think a lot of people, like, I don't know, that's just my opinion. But then Black Ops came out, and a lot of people heard that MW2 was a hoot, so they go and buy Black Ops. So now you got a bigger new base. So the new base has been growing. That's my point. Between MW2 and Black Ops, the new base has grown significantly. So then MW3 came out, and they were like, well, we need a way to keep the noobs interested, because it's a skill-based game. You gotta aim, and you gotta kill someone before they kill you. It's trying to emulate war without having you get killed. And that's fine. But the issue comes up, how to do that, just really how to do that, like, in general. And it's not hard. Point, shoot, aim, kill. Like, that's it. But when you have a bunch of noobs coming, and if there's one guy in every lobby who's better than everyone else, and he's gonna wreck shop every single game, a lot of the noobs are gonna just sell the game, because, like, what the hell? They're getting bored. They're just dying. They're going 5 and 20 every single game. That's not fun. You want to go positive. You want to go 20 and 2. Like, that's what you want to do. You want to drop 50 games, but that's very difficult to do. So what did they do? They dumbed down the difficulty a little bit. They made it easier for people to get score streaks. That's why they allowed score streaks. That's a thing now, is taking a domination point to get a thing. It counts as a kill towards your score streak. So let's move on to, what's the next game? MW3, so Black Ops 2. Because I'm kind of running out of time here. Black Ops 2 took MW3, and it was kind of the same game. Like, there wasn't a ton. There wasn't like a super duper big amount of difference, really. Like, I'm trying to really think about the differences. There really wasn't a lot. Like, I'm sure there are, and I'm just forgetting it. But I'm really trying to think. Like, they're really, in my mind, like Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 did change create a class, like, significantly, and that will be like that forever now. That will never change. This points, like, for your gun, like a 1 point for your gun, 1 point for a perk, like that. So now there's a lot more customization, which is good. This is better for everyone. Some people obviously don't think so, but there's obviously going to be people who don't like stuff in this world. That's how that goes. Personally, I think that's very good for everyone because it allows a lot more customization without super changing the way the game feels, because you can now run without a secondary if you're like me, who never pulls out a secondary, and it's a useless thing. So really, I think that's all Black Ops 2 super changed. Like, create a class. I think that's really kind of, I think they did something with the kill streaks, but really it was the same basic elements as MW3, if I remember correctly. But now we're on to Call of Duty Ghosts, and let's take a look at Call of Duty Ghosts. You have some different stuff here, but I think the main point of this game is that it's very noob oriented. You can play this game for the first time and go 5 and 10. And that's not bad considering first time. Getting 5 kills in your first game, like not like literally picking up the controller for the first time and learning how to play through playing. 5 and 10 isn't terrible. That's a .5 KD for the first game. You know what? I'll take that. But for people who have never played, this is a good starting game because it's easy, but it's hard for people who know what they're doing, in my opinion. For me, listen, there are a lot of ways to die in this game. A ton. Like, whenever I'm turning a corner, I feel like there's someone there. I keep getting killed from behind. Like 24/7 I'm getting killed from behind. This game makes me angry. It does. Like that. That IED, go fuck yourself. That's a cheap spot. I hate you. There's no way for me to avoid it in any situation of running by that. Like up, down, like around that damn walkway. I can't do shit about it. Call of Duty Ghosts, wow, nice voice crack. Call of Duty Ghosts is very noob oriented. There are easy ways to get kills in this game. Very cheap ways. But it's not based towards the people who want to get cool, like nukes. Yeah, there's the KEM strike. But how many people really go for the KEM strike? Really? You go, or even if you do, you go for it for a couple games, and now you're pissed off because you can't get it. It's hard as fuck. The nuke was easier to get than this shit. Seriously, like just try to go for the KEM for 5 games, and unless you're really good at the game, you're not getting shit. It's not happening. Now, although a new player can easily drop a 20 game now because there's easy ways to get kills. They dumbed down the difficulty for newer players but made it more, I don't want to say difficult, but the way like experienced players play, like I'm back from MW2 and I'm like, I don't want to brag or anything, but I'm not bad at the game. Like I mean, I'm not great. Like I'll drop a 30 game every once in a while. Like that's just, like, I win, like, this 30 game right here, I'll win free-for-all every once in a while, but this game, it's not broken. That's not the word, that's the word that everyone uses. It's not broken. It's fucking stupid. It's just, they changed the difficulty so that people with less skill, because their new fan base has grown so much, that now a lot of new players are in this game, so when you try to go for that high kill game, when you try to go for the whatever, it's a lot harder to do because there's a lot of people who don't really know what they're doing. They're not following the paths that you think they're going to follow, and they're freaking using cheap stuff. They're using cheap stuff. So I think that's why a lot of the Call of Duty games now get hate, is because they're not the same as the old ones. They've been radically different. You take a look at Call of Duty Ghosts, you take a look at COD 5, they're totally different. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe. Kind of ran out of time at the end, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.